Now, let's talk about some of the applications of some concepts such as social, legal, ethical, and environmental principles to marketing situations. As we know that it has become very fierce competition within organizations, and they have to maintain a lot of consideration about social, legal, ethical issues, and every time these do arise, and the organization would want to have a positive image in the mind of people, and as well as the societies and governments would want the organizations to be more caring, to be more ethical. The government would see that they are more legal, as well as they are concerned for environment are to actually improve these things. So they all create positive image. So they are not only important for the marketers or the businessmen, but they are very important for the customers as well. So there are some concepts such as social, corporate social responsibility (CSR). So basically, this includes the social responsibility. It would suppose that the corporations they would be not only meeting these economic obligations and legal obligations, but they also meet certain obligations or responsibilities to the society at large as well. And they should go beyond these legal requirements, because sometimes it is possible that you only meet the legal requirements, but ultimately your product is not giving back benefits to your society, or it's not helping the society, or in other words, it may be harming the society. For example, if you are making certain, uh, say, tobacco products or certain products which are known to cause certain harmful effects to the society, so it can create a negative impression that you are, that the health of people is going down, or the environment is not, it is being polluted by the organization. So these corporate social responsibility is an expectation from these corporates that they do more than only legal and economic obligations only. Then there are economic responsibilities. They are also very important for these organizations, and they expect that they sell things, and they need they meet the needs of society, and there is a fair principles, and the fair prices are actually are asked. And if when we talk about fair prices, it doesn't mean low prices. The fair prices are the one that actually include enough dividends for the investors and sufficient profit for these businesses as well, so that they keep on continuing their business as well. Because if we expect them to produce only low price products, so that may not make it sustainable for the businessman or investor to invest money in it. So this would be only fair when everybody gets a reasonable share, so that the activities keep on going, because the motives, profits are a very strong motive that keeps people doing things and working hard, and organization keep on striving for these things. If we take out these incentives, then human activity would be it would be reduced, and there would be less economic growth and other benefits that can be achieved through good economy. So we have seen that there are more legal responsibilities coming through these days. Every day there are new and stringent regulations coming into place for every kind of product, and especially this is true for food products as well. Every day there are new regulations, and mostly they are stringent than the previous regulations. So it is becoming more and more complex for the food business particularly, and other businesses in general as well, that they must meet the new legal requirements every time. They have to comply with the legal requirements, and there is no escape from the legal requirements. So no company would try to actually escape from legal requirements, because otherwise they could not continue their business. Again, it would depend like how seriously things are taken in different countries, and how seriously legal things are considered, or what are the punishment offered by countries if their legal requirements are not met. But again, these are something that are unquestionable, that you have to follow the legal requirements. Then comes after legal requirements. Sometimes it's possible you're meeting all legal requirements, but ethically there might be some concerns, and this has happened in many time in food scandals. In many time, for example, you're leaking or meeting all legal requirements, but your food is again dangerous, is causing some food poisoning or some other issues in your populations, or promoting some disease or unhealthy food that is uh, generating more patients or creating more problems for particular segments of society. So they have to be ethical as well. So ethical responsibilities are there, and they would be uh, they must be properly considered all the time by all the organizations, and only then they can have a positive image in the minds of your customer, and they can maintain more mind share of the people as well. So, and as I said, it all creates positive image, and this positive image is a very much tangible asset. If people think good about you or your product, they would be willing to spend money for your product, and that would make your business sustainable. And if we do neglect this, this might lead to serious problems. We see so many scandals related to food products. They relate to certain time, many number of deaths. For example, you can relate with many incidences in recently in European countries where salads were contaminated with some pathogens that led to widespread disease, food poisoning incidences. The contamination of milk with melanin that resulted in the deaths and disease of so many infants recently in countries. So these are all things that actually tell us that if we neglect this corporate social responsibility, it not only can harm us in a way that we are going to have lower customer base, but it can also lead to closure as well as punishment by the regulatory authorities as well. Environment is something that is coming up these days. It was only in 1970s, especially when people started thinking about environment and new concerns. They were raised by so many people, such as global warming, depletion of ozone layer, then deforestation, sea pollution. These new concepts are very, very much dominant in today's market, and the businessmen have now have started thinking about green marketing, where they can put minimum resource stress on the resources, on especially on natural resources, and they would try to make more lean manufacturing, or the way the less wastage. It does not affect the environment badly. It does not contribute to carbon dioxide emission or global warming or pollution in your environment or sea life. So these are something that are very much decisive factor in these today's economy, that whether we are concerned about our environment or whether we are not. And if we are, then we are going to create a positive impression towards our customer, and that is going to help the organization in the long term. And as I said, you could have good reputation in the minds of your customer if you do all these environmental concerns other than legal, ethical, social concerns are done. So similarly, as I said, in today's world, people are more conscious about environment as well. So they are become this segment is growing. So the growing segment would mean that no, this is another segment that has to be catered. It must be tackled in a way that you uh, get maximum benefit of this increasing segment by producing products which are more responsible, environment friendly, or they are more like green marketing for these people, so that you can capture this market share as well. So this was a little about how organizations and marketers have to meet these social, ethical, regular environmental concerns during their marketing strategies.